Market Mantra. Market Mantra. Market Mantra. Market Mantra. Market Mantra. Market Mantra.
Good evening and welcome to the Thursday edition of Market Mantra, a program in which we give you a complete update on the economic, business and stock market news of the day. My name is Rajesh Lake and with me is my co-anchor in Hindi, Vishal Sharma.
नमस्कार, मार्केट मंत्र में आप सभी का स्वागत। रोज की तरह आज भी हम आर्थिक, व्यापारिक और शेयर बाजार के ताजा समाचार आप तक पहुंचाएंगे, साथ ही उन पर चर्चा भी करेंगे। प्रमुख खबरों पर चर्चा के लिए आज हमारे साथ ऑनलाइन मौजूद हैं बाजार विशेषज्ञ राजीव नागपाल। राजीव नमस्कार, कार्यक्रम में आपका स्वागत।
वेलकम राजीव।
थैंक्स।
और सबसे पहले हेडलाइंस के साथ है राजेश लेक।
Equity benchmarks gain around 0.4% amid gradual reopening of the economy. Sensex closes at 30,933. Nifty settles at 9,106. US Senate passes a bill to delist Chinese companies from America stock exchanges. And Brent crude prices rise to its highest since March.
अर्थव्यवस्था धीरे धीरे फिर से खोले जाने के बीच प्रमुख शेयर सूचकांकों में लगभग 0.4% की बढ़त। सेंसेक्स 30,933 पर हुआ बंद, निफ्टी 9,106 पर पहुंचा। अमेरिकी सीनेट ने चीन की कंपनियों को स्टॉक एक्सचेंज से हटाने संबंधी विधेयक पारित किया और ब्रेंट कच्चे तेल के दाम बढ़कर मार्च के बाद से उच्चतम स्तर पर पहुंचे। और आज की पहली सुर्खी पर बात कर लेते हैं। प्रमुख शेयर सूचकांकों में आज लगभग 0.4% की बढ़त देखी गई। अर्थव्यवस्था के धीरे धीरे फिर से खुलने के बीच निवेशकों ने एफएमसीजी, ऑटो और आईटी शेयरों की खरीदारी में रुचि दिखाई। बॉम्बे स्टॉक एक्सचेंज का सेंसेक्स 114 अंक के उछाल से 0.37% बढ़कर 30,933 पर बंद हुआ। नेशनल स्टॉक एक्सचेंज का निफ्टी भी 0.44% की बढ़त से 40 अंक ऊपर 9,106 पर पहुंच गया। व्यापक बाजार में बीएसई मिड कैप इंडेक्स में 0.76%, जबकि स्मॉल कैप इंडेक्स में 0.72% की वृद्धि दर्ज की गई। विशेषज्ञों के अनुसार आर्थिक गतिविधियों के धीरे धीरे फिर शुरू होने से अर्थव्यवस्था के दोबारा पटरी पर आने की उम्मीदों से ऑटो, आईटी, मेटल्स और एफएमसीजी सेक्टर के अग्रणी शेयरों में खरीदारी देखी गई।
Equity benchmarks today rose around 0.4% as investors accumulated FMCG, auto and IT stocks amid gradual reopening of the economy. The Sensex closed at 114 points or 0.37% up at 30,933. The NSE Nifty advanced 40 points or 0.44% to 9,106. In broader market at BSE, mid-cap rose 0.76% while small cap gained 0.72%. ITC was the top gainer in the Sensex pack, rallying over 7%, followed by Asian Paints, Hero MotoCorp, Maruti, Bajaj Auto, Sun Pharma, TCS and HCL Tech. On the other hand, IndusInd Bank, NTPC, Bajaj Finance, HDFC and L&T were among the laggards. Experts said buying was seen in frontline stocks of sectors like auto, IT, metals and FMCG as traders took note of gradual opening of the economy, raising hopes of economic recovery. However, at the fag end of the session, some selling was witnessed as negative global cues continued for the second straight day and traders booked profits as weekly expiry neared, leading to indices losing majority of the gains. Traders said concerns over the long-term impact of COVID-19 and worsening China-US relations also kept investors on the edge. The number of COVID-19 cases in India spiked to over 112,000 while the death toll rose to 3,435 according to the Health Ministry. Globally, the number of cases linked to the disease has crossed 49 lakhs and 96,000, and the death toll has topped 3.28 lakhs. Rajiv, first and foremost, your reaction to the way the markets reacted today, and your views particularly on the auto, IT, metals and FMCG sectors.
See, today was the expiry of the weekly option contract. So, whenever there is a expiry of a weekly option or a monthly option contract, we tend to see volatility. Market is an oversold zone, so probably some short covering does happen, on the day. Of the sectors you mentioned, like auto and metals are the ones which have underperformed very dramatically. And the probable reason why they, if you look at trend of last couple of weeks, that on the day of expiry, they move a bit just because of the short covering. So I don't think so I would read too much into, that anything special has happened in these sectors. But of course, it's a part of, normal market. In my opinion, the market is likely to remain volatile, and though the bearish bias, the quantum probably should reduce going forward as the economy opens, as there were some reports that some companies have been able to own their, dealership network in case of auto companies. So let's see how the news flow develops over next couple of days, and then one will have to figure out that, okay, the worst is over, and then let's look forward for more positive news flow on a long sustainable basis.
Okay, you're very right in saying that we'll all look forward to the worst being over. But let's look at the scenario. This is the most unprecedented crisis that is facing the global economy and of course all of us in India as well. I want to take you to a particular film, if you'll allow me, The Perfect Storm. George Clooney's film, where the fishing trawler went to a spot where 3 storms come and rage and ravage the trawler. And I'm drawing parallel to the global economy in this and the Indian economy in this, because we have the medical crisis coming, we have the economic crisis coming, and we have the financial crisis coming and battering the global and Indian economy. How are we going to come out of it?
Well, see, first of all, this is not the first time that we have seen a crisis. Of course, it involves a different element this time, because after this crisis, there are going to be certain behavioral changes in consumer. My take is that probably the moment the world knows that there is a vaccine, there is a cure, the bounce back in the consumption is going to be far better than what most of us are expecting or building in our scenarios today. So, basically, if you look at anywhere in the world, wherever there has been little bit relaxation in the lockdown, to see number of people coming out trying to resume their normal operation, trying to not think that everything should be stopped. So one part is that, in my opinion, the things are going to turn out better, far better than what most of the people are thinking, that, this is going to lead to a global slowdown for a prolonged period of time. Second, if you look at the amount of money which has been pumped into the system by some of the central banks, it is phenomenal. I mean, that finally that money is going to come into assets. Some of it will go to companies, some of it will go to small companies to revive their businesses. Then the surplus will come to financial assets. Probably first it will go to the developed market, then we will have our own share. So I think there is another bout of reflation of asset which will happen over the next couple of years. The only difference is that some of the medium-sized companies also will face trouble because their operations have been closed. Companies wherever the element of fixed cost of operation is higher are the ones who are going to face music. Any company which is over-leveraged is going to face music. So that is where, one will need to be, as an investor, one need to be very specific. It would be wrong to paint all the stocks with the same brush. Like in case of IT, most of the IT companies are clearly indicating that the work from home has perfectly panned out for them. There's nothing much in terms of their disruption. If you look at their quarterly numbers, they were fine. The guidance, most of them did not give guidance because they were not sure what is going to come out of developed market. But indications were there that they are not going to do a layoff. In fact, one large company said they're going to go ahead with the offers they have given to the people. So I think when the news flow is too bad, everybody cannot, it's very tough to think positive.
जी राजीव, हम ऑटो सेक्टर की अगर फिर से बात करें तो ऑटो शेयरों में आज तेजी देखी गई है और कोरोना संकट से पहले भी ऑटो सेक्टर में कुछ दबाव देखे जा रहे थे। तो अब जो स्टिमुलस पैकेज, जो आर्थिक पैकेज सरकार ने घोषित किया है, उसमें ऑटो सेक्टर के लिए कोई खास घोषणा दिखाई नहीं पड़ी। और आपको लगता है कि ये पैकेज जो डिक्लेयर किया है सरकार ने, ये डिमांड को बढ़ाएगा ऑटो सेक्टर की?
नहीं, देखिए, ऑटो सेक्टर के जो जैसा कि आपने कहा कि कुछ और इश्यूज थे, उसमें से इशू था कि BS4 से BS6 का ट्रांजिशन हो रहा था
जी।
दूसरा, उनकी जो कुछ NBFC क्राइसिस है, बिकॉज ऑटो क्षेत्र में जो मैक्सिमम सेल्स होती हैं वो क्रेडिट सेल्स होती हैं और लास्ट माइल कनेक्टिविटी जो लेके आता है वो NBFC है। तो एक रीजन वो था। दूसरा, कॉस्ट ऑफ ओनिंग दी व्हीकल जो थी, स्पेशली 2 व्हीलर्स एज अ परसेंटेज कॉस्ट जो है वो बहुत बढ़ गई थी। तो उन सारी चीजों में को अगर आप कुल मिला के देखेंगे तो इशू इकट्ठा हो गया था कि ये जहां तक आपका कहना है कि डिमांड का, मेरे हिसाब से थोड़ा सा इंडिकेशन आएगी टुवर्ड्स नवंबर अक्टूबर, जो दिवाली सेल्स कैसी जाती हैं, क्योंकि इस अगले 2 महीने में ऐसा कुछ खास कोई इम्प्रूवमेंट आ जाए मुझे नहीं लगता। कुछ बेयर मिनिमम सेल्स जरूरी होंगी, बिकॉज कुछ जो व्हीकल्स हैं 15 साल पुराने हो गए हैं, उनकी रिप्लेसमेंट होनी जरूरी है, वो सब सेल्स होंगी। बट इन टर्म्स ऑफ ग्रोथ, कोई शार्प ग्रोथ आती हो, वो मालूम चलेगा कि सिचुएशन फेस्टिवल सीजन तक कैसे पैन आउट करती है। इशू ये कोविड का इशू कितना सेटल होता है, कितना लिक्विडिटी जो है मार्केट में रिज्यूम करती है। हम एक चीज मोस्ट ऑफ टाइम जब इंडिया की बात करते हैं भूल जाते हैं, हमारे यहाँ बहुत बड़ा सिस्टम आज भी इनफॉर्मल क्रेडिट का है कि विश्वास पे किसी को माल दे दिया। वो थोड़ा सा मेरे को लगता है कि वो थोड़ा सिस्टम इम्पैक्ट हुआ है। जो इनफॉर्मल क्रेडिट हमारे रिटेलिंग मॉम एंड पॉप स्टोर कह लीजिए या छोटे दुकानदार कह लीजिए, या इवन फॉर दैट मैटर मैं उसमें ऑटो डीलरशिप को भी ले आऊंगा, वो सारी चीजें थोड़ी सी इम्पैक्ट हुई है। तो मुझे लगता है कुछ टाइम लगेगा, ऐसा नहीं है। बट अगर आप इसको स्टॉक प्राइस से कोरिलेट करेंगे तो आपको वैल्यूएशन देखेंगे तो ऐसा नहीं है कि बहुत हाईली एक्सपेंसिव है एट दिस पॉइंट ऑफ टाइम, बट बिकॉज अभी भी थोड़ी सी अनसर्टेनिटी है, कब सिचुएशन ठीक होगी, तो थोड़ा बहुत मार्केट उस हिसाब से उसको बहुत ज्यादा एकदम रनअप रैली हो जाए, मुझे नहीं लगता है कि sharp run-up हो जाएगा in stocks.
So, Rajiv, if we were to look at the positives that are prevalent today, I'll list down some and then we'll have a small discussion on that. We have the oil bill where we are doing savings. We have made in India goods which will replace made in China goods, hopefully, as has been the call of the Prime Minister. Then we also have the import movement which will be curtailed. So all this, with the number of days that we have not been operational, plus the cost of restarting the economy versus the positives that I listed out, where do we start with that? Where do we begin to feel, okay, yes, this is what the past was, this is what the scenario today is, which is the positive aspect, where do we go from here?
See, as far as oil is concerned, yes, it's a positive, the price is likely to remain low, but the fact is that if you don't import oil, the government revenues which comes from oil also gets suffered.
Yeah.
So now, as far as there have been quite a few reforms, during this period of lockdown which have taken place, and so I would make a distinction between what is stimulus and what is the reform. The issue with and what happens in the market is, because market always looks for instant gratification. Everybody in market, including me, are people who form part of market, are always looking for a short-term this thing, what has been done, what has not been done, living and eating news every moment. The problem is that reform always takes time. I'm sure that Make in India probably and if you include the lowering of the taxes which happened in September last year, probably there is going to be a push. Also because global companies would like to now diversify their supply chain, they will relook at it. And if we, as India, if we can provide them a comprehensive package deal where we have an educated workforce, everything perfectly worked out, land and labor reforms, all those things are there. then probably we are going to be fast. But still, that is going to take time. Market will start reacting if when this starts happening, if the on-ground situation comes. Suppose tomorrow in next 2 months you find a large manufacturing company has announced, okay, I'm going to set up some plant in India, then probably market will have more faith, and that is what they. So it will happen in long term. These are reforms, and they do take their time. But in short term, market is impacted by what's happening to the global liquidity, where something is going to flow. If global investors feel that at this point of time the earnings are going to be slightly depressed because of whatever reason, then probably they will hold their money back. And if you look at the last 3 years, 4 years, the most of the money comes by way of ETFs globally, which have been floated by.
Actually, that was my point to you, that we can contain the damage by attracting foreign direct investment. But you are saying they will also weigh their pros and cons before coming in.
Yes. Yes, anybody who wants to set up a manufacturing facility would like to see what kind of labor reforms are there, land costs. Of course, we are far better placed than China in terms of labor cost, and we have a highly skilled labor force which is there. We produce maximum number of engineers. So there is no the issue is not the factors are not available. They're all available. The question is whether we are able to present it to the world or not.
Correct.
I mean, that is the key. You have all the things. It's a presentation which matters, because presentation is going to lead to a change in perception. And once perception changes, then the reality starts to change.
Okay.
In economic cycle, this happens.
In all this, then what role does the fiscal and the monetary stimulus play?
Well, see, fiscal stimulus, monetary stimulus are short-term things. If there is there are like injections of steroids which are given to just save the patient. At this point of time, given the fact that every central bank is doing it, nobody is going to question it. But the point is that even if we do it, there are long-term impact of those measures. And what we did probably in 2009-10 kind of reaction and panic, we just saw 2 years down the line what happened. I mean, there was again a slowdown. So my view is that if there is a problem, of course, we all know there is a problem. You keep on incrementally looking at a problem, because as a country, we have a limited amount of resources in terms of capital. We have to allocate resources and reshuffle our resources in areas which are a priority. If textile sector is one, if there is a stimulus required there, it should go there. If there is something else which requires, let's say, capital expenditure, and not only fiscal, sometimes you can have some regulatory forbearance, which itself is a big help to the industry to bear out, like moratorium which has happened is probably a more relief to people than anything else. So these are all things which over a period of time, we need a policy mindset where reaction time to any problem is.
But nothing beats, Rajiv, the fact that if there is a medical solution to all this, then of course everything will bounce back.
Yeah, it will bounce back at a much faster rate. I mean, it's very tough to keep every human being at home. I mean, the fact is that, most of the people want to now move out. It's 2 months. You just can't keep sitting at one place. And the thing is that the moment there is a reaction, the moment there is a news from US, vaccine trial has come, if you do Google search, you will realize that the most looked after thing is what has happened to vaccine. I mean, it is among the top 10 trending search on Google. So that clearly shows that if the moment there is a positive news, if a vaccine which is even, let's say, 80% fine, and it's available to the world, probably then people start moving out.
My question to you, Rajiv, then would be, can the COVID impact on the stock market go down any further?
Sorry, I couldn't hear you, sorry.
I'm saying, can the impact of COVID and this pandemic go on the stock market any further than what it has already gone?
No, it can. See, it's not there is a statement which has come from a US institution which says that, probability as months progresses, there's a possibility of a second wave coming in. If before that we have a vaccine or we have a trial, by that time we are all focusing on vaccine, but also there is a scope of, treatment coming up. So if all that is there before that, then I don't think so there is scope. But if there is a mixed news flow which keeps one day says, oh, vaccine is coming up and the results are encouraging, next day, oh, then somebody points out, no, actually, only these number of patients have been tested, no large scale trials have been done. So that might again dampen the sentiment. So probably what might happen is we might see a broader range bound move. Excess liquidity will not let it go down beyond a certain point, because at the end of the day, if liquidity is there, the institutions are sitting with the money which have been given them to invest, they will invest. So it's a situation where probably in terms of index, we will see a very broad long-term range getting formed.
So is it broad-based recovery that we have been looking at for past 3 days, or is it extremely polarized?
No, it's not a broad-based recovery. No,
Okay.
no, it's not. It's not. If you look at most of the time, the market breadth still remains weak, and it's not a broad-based. But see, recovery is, given the kind of situation we are facing, it's very unlikely that's going to happen. So I'm not even expecting it to happen. But that recovery will start on the day when the root cause of the problem is addressed, which is if there's a vaccine, or if it's proven that there is a particular medicine or a combination of medicine which is going to result into this. So that is what market is actually looking for. So if the root cause is settled, then the market moves. Okay, fair enough. Economic slowdown keeps going down. We had one in 2009. Before that, we had in 2000 when there was a dot-com bust. Before that, we had an Asian financial crisis. So all those things keep happening. Those things are taken in stride. But this is a very different situation.
तो बहुत कुछ निर्भर करेगा कि जितनी जल्दी इस बीमारी से निपटने के लिए वैक्सीन सामने आती है, उतनी जल्दी अर्थव्यवस्थाएं विश्व की देशों की सुधरेंगी। और अब एशियाई बाजारों का रुख कर लेते हैं। अधिकांश एशियाई शेयर बाजारों में आज गिरावट देखी गई। अमेरिका चीन के बिगड़ते संबंधों का असर बाजारों पर देखने को मिला। उतार चढ़ाव भरे कारोबार में बाजारों ने शुरुआती बढ़त गंवा दी। जापान का निकेई 0.2% फिसला और हांगकांग का हैंग सेंग 0.5% नीचे आ गया। सिंगापुर का स्ट्रेट्स टाइम्स 0.3% नुकसान के साथ बंद हुआ और चीन के शंघाई कंपोजिट इंडेक्स में 0.6% की गिरावट दर्ज हुई। हालांकि दक्षिण कोरिया के कोस्पी ने 0.4% की बढ़त दर्ज की। अंतर्देशीय कारोबार में यूरोप के बाजारों में भी गिरावट का रुख रहा। लंदन का फुट्सी 0.8% और जर्मनी का डेक्स 1.4% लुढ़क गए, जबकि फ्रांस का कैक 1% नीचे आ गया।
In the US, the 3 major US equity indices logged gains yesterday as investors again bet on a swift economic recovery from coronavirus-driven lockdowns and the potential for more stimulus measures from the Federal Reserve. The S&P 500 stands at a 2-month high and was briefly above its 100-day moving average. The Nasdaq was trading at its highest level in 3 months and was about 5% below record levels as shares of Facebook and Amazon surged to all-time highs. Dow Jones Industrial Average climbed 1.5%, the S&P 500 surged 1.7%, and the Nasdaq Composite Index zoomed 2.1%. The U.S. Senate has passed a bill, and Rajiv will be discussing on this in a while, to delist Chinese companies from American stock exchanges. The Senate yesterday unanimously approved the bill brought by Republican Senator John Kennedy and Democrat Senator Chris Van Hollen. The legislation requires companies to certify that they are not owned or controlled by a foreign government. They would be required to submit to an audit that can be reviewed by the Public Company Accounting Oversight Board, which has been objected by China. The move may result in Chinese companies like Alibaba Group Holdings Limited and Baidu Inc. being barred from listing on U.S. stock exchanges. First, now this bill that is going to come up, is that another start of a war between U.S. and China? Of course, the allegations are flying high these days, and people are a bit worried about how things can unfold. As you know, last couple of months back, the standoff that was observed between the U.S. and China. So I hope the situation doesn't come back.
Well, I mean, to be very honest, I don't think so. This is actually going to take a
ugly turn that it...
Yeah, I mean, this is again a, posturing which will happen. Because neither US markets can afford to not to have, because they also get, those investors also get to have an exposure. And if this was supposed to become reality, then there's going to be another round of not small, but a very big war. I mean, see, look, amount of wealth destruction which will happen, or not only to the damage to the Chinese companies, but what will happen to the US investors who are holding them in their funds, both in individuals or investor or hedge funds or XYZ. I mean, it's largely owned by global this thing. So all those people are going to get, the wealth is going to get affected. So, but I mean, at this point of time, you never know with what can happen in the world. Tough to predict and tough to in these times. But as of now, I don't think there's a logical possibility of that happening.
जी राजीव, जो ये कोविड-19 महामारी में जो चीन की जो भूमिका उसको लेकर के दुनिया भर में जो माहौल बना है, उसमें ये माना जा रहा है कि कई कंपनियां चीन से बाहर निकलने की योजना बना रही हैं और चीन में जिस तरीके का एक सप्लाई चेन है कि जो उसकी कैपेसिटी है सप्लाई चेन की और जो उसकी उत्पादकता है, श्रम उत्पादकता और जो उसका विश्व स्तरीय ढांचा है, उसमें आपको क्या लगता है कि कंपनियां जो हैं वो चीन से बाहर आना चाहेंगी?
देखिए, कुछ तो जरूर कुछ डाइवर्सिफिकेशन तो करेंगी। एक तो देखिए, दो नजरिए हो सकते हैं देखने के। एक कि चीन इज रिस्पॉन्सिबल और ये हुआ है और प्रॉब्लम हो गई तो मैं वहां से एक ऑल्टरनेट बनाऊं। दूसरी सोच ये हो सकती है कि चीन ने बहुत अच्छे से हैंडल कर लिया, सारी दुनिया में अभी लॉकडाउन चल रहे हैं, वो अपने वॉल्ट डिज्नी के पार्क खोल रहे हैं। सो दी अदर थॉट प्रोसेस कुड बी कि वो हाँ कुछ भी हो जाए, यहाँ तो यहीं रहो, ये ठीक रहेगा। सो दोनों हो सकते हैं, लेकिन द प्रोबेबिलिटी दैट दे विल नॉट बी डिपेंडेंट, उनकी वो अपने आप की डिपेंडेंस को खत्म करेंगी, बिकॉज एट द एंड ऑफ द डे वो वहाँ डेमोक्रेसी नहीं है। सो वो एक फैक्टर होगा, वो करेगा कि आपको मूव करने के लिए करेगा। कुछ कंपनीज ने मूव करा है एक्चुअली, अगर आप देखेंगे तो पिछले दिनों में कुछ कंपनीज ने मूव करा है, उसमें से काफी वियतनाम चली गई हैं, कुछ फिलीपींस चली गई हैं। और एक और चीज जो इम्पैक्ट करेगी कि वो जो दूसरे देश की गवर्नमेंट है, अगर एज इंडिया हम कितना बढ़िया उनको एक प्लेटफॉर्म दे सकते हैं, बाकी कंपनीज को पैकेज दे सकते हैं, आइए ये जमीन है, यहाँ पे लेबर है, ये है, उस पर डिपेंड करेगा। सेकेंडली दूसरा ग्लोबल जो गवर्नमेंट है, जापान ने अनाउंस करा कि हम पैकेज देंगे, आप चाइना से वापस जापान आइए, 2 बिलियन का उन्होंने वो करा, वो बहुत छोटा सा अमाउंट है, बट अगेन इट्स एन इंडिकेटिव डिस्ट्रिक्ट और अब डेवलपिंग सिचुएशन।
जी, विदेशी मुद्रा बाजार में आज रुपए के प्रदर्शन पर नजर डाल लेते हैं। रुपया आज 19 पैसे मजबूत होकर $1 के मुकाबले 75 रुपए 61 पैसे के स्तर पर बंद हुआ। विदेशी मुद्रा कारोबारियों के अनुसार घरेलू शेयर बाजारों में आई बढ़त का सहारा आज रुपए को मिला।
And the crude prices today rose to its highest since March, supported by lower U.S. crude inventories, OPEC-led supply cuts and recovering demand. A recovery in demand has been seen as governments eased restrictions on people's movements imposed during the pandemic. Its intraday trade, Brent crude prices were trading at $36.50 per barrel, while WTI crude prices were at $34.10 per barrel.
और अब सोने पे नजर डाल लेते हैं। सोना आज अंतर्राष्ट्रीय बाजार में गिरावट के साथ $1,736.30 प्रति औंस पर आ गया। घरेलू वायदा बाजार में जून के लिए सोने का भाव ₹355 गिरकर $46,776 प्रति 10 ग्राम पर आ गया। जी राजीव, यहाँ आपसे अगर ये जानना चाहें कि क्या अब ये टाइम आ गया है कि जो सोने में जो गोल्ड में जो गेन्स हैं वो अब इक्विटीज की तरफ ले जाने चाहिए?
नहीं, आई थिंक अभी अनसर्टेनिटी है तो जो थोड़ा सा है उसको, सी गोल्ड इज अ नेसेसरी इवल विच एज इंडियंस वी हैव टू हैव, बिकॉज वही डॉलर डिनोमिनेटेड सेविंग है इंडियन।
जी राजीव, तो धन्यवाद कार्यक्रम में हमसे जुड़ने और चर्चा के लिए आपका बहुत बहुत धन्यवाद। आप चलते चलते एक नजर आज की आर्थिक सुर्खियों पर।
And before we close, a reminder of the headlines. Equity benchmarks gain around 0.4% amid gradual reopening of economy. Sensex closes at 30,933. Nifty settles at 9,106. U.S. Senate passes a bill to delist Chinese companies from American stock exchanges, and Brent crude prices rise to its highest since March. That's all we have in this edition of Market Mantra. Till tomorrow, goodbye.
Market Mantra.